Hello there everybody, Adam Clery here and welcome back to my world famous laboratory. Just in time, as well as I've recently made a staggering breakthrough on what is the single worst song lyric of all time, and it is "Gripping My Consensual Penis." Where the f***'s my Nobel Prize? Anyway, that's not why you're here, probably. You're here for my latest highly scientific wrestling revelation, and I thought with all the talk about Daniel Bryan's contract resurfacing for the 10 millionth time, I'd try and get us all some definitive answers. So, as ever, my name is Adam Clery, and I've got a theory. Right, where to begin on this? On the off chance you're coming in cold, where have you been for the last few years? But Daniel Bryan was basically declared medically unfit to wrestle by WWE's doctors and has been running down his contract pretty much ever since. But, shock and awe, just before WrestleMania, he was spectacularly cleared to wrestle, and we're all expecting another big run for him at the top. Since then, well, that's not exactly what we've had, is it? It's been a bit confusing watching him just tread water on the mid-card, and thus talk is back that when his contract runs out in August of this year, he's off. You can all stop your speculating though, because I have performed numerous experiments and arrived at the inescapable scientific conclusion that Daniel Bryan is going to leave WWE this year. Alright, so the most basic and thus most important fact behind all of this is that Daniel Bryan has still not signed a new contract. That would have been job number one for WWE when he was cleared, because regardless of what they were going to do with him, they wouldn't want one of the biggest names in wrestling just walking off to a rival competitor. So if he hasn't signed a new contract, there is a bloody good reason for that. But that begs the question, why would he not re-sign with the biggest company in the world if they were willing to let him wrestle? And, well, there are numerous reasons for that, but chief amongst them is probably because he simply doesn't trust them from a medical standpoint. Why? Well, I'm not going to get myself sued just to save you a cursory Google, but let's just say there are some very strong reasons why a lot of wrestlers seek their own second opinions. Plus, I mean, just look at how he's been booked in the last few months. They had lightning in a fucking bottle the second he came back into the ring, and somehow in the space of a few weeks, he's fallen back into the SmackDown pack with Rusev and Joe and everybody else they can't think of a good angle for. There is, of course, a lot of precedent for this sort of thing, and I would ask you all to cast your minds back to a one Cody Rhodes, a man with a massive groundswell of support who was not being used all that well. And what happened there? Well, he headed for the Indies, and with better control over his schedule, his booking, his storylines, his merchandise, and everything else, he is now one of the most important men in the entire industry. And this is no disrespect to my brother in peroxide arms, but compare Cody Rhodes' ability and his popularity with that of Daniel Bryan. Imagine what he could do with that exact same opportunity. He would be the biggest name in the whole world. Yeah, I know. We've all thought about what Daniel Bryan could do if he left the company. We all know what a big deal he would be on the indies, but it's perhaps more important to put all that to one side and look at the reasons why he might stay. I mean, a lot of wrestlers find themselves in that exact same situation and they don't leave, so what would stop Daniel Bryan? Well, obvious reason number one is the exposure. It is still the biggest wrestling company in the entire world and has the biggest audience. Obvious reason number two is the money, because they pay you well and they pay you regularly. And obvious reason number three is the prestige. It is still, regardless of what anybody thinks, WWE. It is still the top of the industry, and if you are a wrestler, you want to succeed there. But let's say you're Daniel Bryan. I mean, you're nowhere near as handsome, but let's face it, who is? You do not need the exposure that comes with WWE anymore. You are one of the biggest names in the entire world as it is, and you manage to keep yourself both over and relevant with nothing but a fucking talk show at the end of SmackDown for about 2 years. You do not need that company. As for money, well, he's rich as shit as it is, and he could easily earn way more on the indies while working a fraction of the dates. Promotions would throw stupid money to get him on their card without him having to work the grueling house show schedule of WWE. He would be better providing for a family he would then get to see more of. Finally, the prestige of WWE. Well, he's a Grand Slam champion who already has one of the greatest WrestleMania moments in the company's history. There is nothing left for him to realistically achieve in WWE compared to, say, somewhere like New Japan, which is a company he adores and he never even got out the tag division of. But as ever, those are all the reasons why Daniel Bryan should leave WWE, and that's Miller's series, isn't it? This is Clery's theories, and I am here to prove without a single solitary shadow of a doubt why he will leave WWE. And this week it is incredibly simple. It could not be any purer. Daniel Bryan will leave WWE this year because he really, really loves wrestling. He loves the indie scene and the global reach of the sport and the worldwide audience. He loves tiny little shows in the middle of nowhere and massive, groundbreaking events and immersing himself in new cultures. He sees this as an art form and he simply cannot indulge in that art in that company, not in the way he can outside of it. At the age of 37, he has the tiniest window left to go all over the world and still be the biggest and the best thing in wrestling. No weird, inconsistent booking, no trading losses with underutilized talent, no weird backstage segments, no barely bothered house show crowds 4 nights a week, just him wrestling wherever and whoever he wants. The combination of A, the worldwide indie boom, B, his own ability, and C, just how fucking globally adored the man is, means that no other wrestler is or will likely ever be in a better position to thrive away from WWE, and ergo, he'll do it. So that is my theory. Let me know what you made of it in the comments below, bearing in mind that you can't argue because it's science, dipshit, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, my name has been Adam Clery, and that was my theory.
So, thanks for watching. Please feel free to click on any of these things around my head, or something terrible might happen to the dog. Too sweet me, bro. Traitor. Traitor.